The man dropped his engagement ring right into the trash chute. He stuck his head in to try and grab it. It was so close, so he leaned in a little more, and then he fell all the way in. And the worst part? It wasn't just any trash chute, it was a trash slide that led straight into a compactor. Firefighters rushed to the scene. The building manager told them he had already cut the power, so for now, the man wouldn't get crushed. The firefighters started clearing out trash and checked the man's vitals. His heart and eyes were working fine. The trash had cushioned his fall, so his head was okay. Just as they were about to pull him out, the alarm went off. The trash compactor started moving. The man was about to get squished. But how? The power was off. The manager guessed that the backup battery had kicked in. There was an emergency stop button, but guess what? It was broken. The machine was getting closer and closer, so the captain shouted, "Use a crowbar." It actually worked. They tried to pull the man out, but he was really stuck. The crowbar started to bend. The man was screaming. He was seconds away from being crushed, and then the machine stopped.
What happened?
It just stopped. What did you guys do?
I pulled the plug.
The firefighters were opening Christmas gifts. Suddenly, they all rushed downstairs and saw an RV had crashed into the fire station. The driver was a 10-year-old girl. Turns out, her mom had a seizure. The girl had never driven a car before, but she remembered how to drive from video games. So she brought her mom to the fire station. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt. Then the firefighters checked on the mom. She was shaking all over and passed out. She needed help fast, but the space inside the RV was too small, and the door was stuck, so the team used special cutters to make a path from the other side. Soon, they got her onto a stretcher, but her seizure was really bad, and they couldn't give her a shot through and four, so the firefighters worked together to hold her down. They finally gave her the medicine. She started to calm down. The ambulance team arrived just in time. They were about to take her away, when suddenly, her seizure started again. The four wasn't helping. The firefighter grabbed a drill and made a small hole in her leg. They gave her medicine through the bone. That finally worked. Just when the firefighter was about to tell the daughter everything was okay, she saw the girl had locked herself inside the break room. The girl thought her mom got sick because taking care of her was too hard. No matter what the firefighter said, she wouldn't open the door, even fainted. The firefighter grabbed a fire extinguisher and smashed the glass to get inside. She saw a bracelet on the girl's wrist. It showed the girl had diabetes. No wonder she thought her mom got sick because of her. But then, the firefighter looked at the girl's blood sugar monitor. It said the numbers were fine. Just to be sure, she checked again with her own device. This time, it showed low blood sugar. She gave the girl a shot, and the girl woke up. What a day!
I'm having trouble breathing.
A woman was buried alive by a sandstorm. The dispatcher tried calling her husband, but he didn't answer. The dispatcher had no choice but to guide her remotely on how to save herself.
Okay, listen, Margaret. I need you to take the trowel, place it in the center of the lid. That's where it should be, its weakest. I need you to hit the center as hard as you can.
She followed instructions, frantically stabbing at the box. Soon, dirt began to fall in. She panicked. The dispatcher told her to take off her clothes and cover her head to avoid inhaling the dirt.
Okay, good. Now try to wriggle your body so that your arms come out first. Keep climbing until you reach the surface. Do not stop, Margaret. You can do it.
Okay.
The sand kept pouring in, but the woman never gave up. With a final scream, she finally crawled out.
I'm out!
Only to see her husband standing there, completely baffled.
What are you doing?
You're pregnant.
The man standing nearby was totally shocked. He thought he was marrying a man, so how could he be pregnant? Just a moment ago, the man did a marriage checkup and found a tumor in his brain. Doctors said it had doubled in size in less than 2 weeks. Looks like the wedding will have to wait. A blood test showed his prolactin was really high, but high prolactin usually means one of two things. Either there's a tumor, or the body is making a lot of hormones somewhere else. Dr. Sean heard the patient was a transgender man, so he suggested doing an ultrasound on the belly. The man was confused. I'm a guy. Why would I need an ultrasound? But the machine didn't lie. It showed he was pregnant. Turns out, after his gender surgery, he had been taking testosterone regularly. But during wedding planning, he and his fiancée got so into each other, he forgot to take the hormones. That's how the pregnancy happened, since the tumor was caused by pregnancy hormones. If they ended the pregnancy, his hormone levels would drop, and the tumor would shrink on its own. He would only need some medicine, but if they didn't end the pregnancy, the tumor would keep growing, and surgery would be needed to remove it. They talked for a long time. They figured they could always adopt a baby later, so they agreed to end the pregnancy. But after one night, the man changed his mind. He wanted to keep the baby. His fiancée didn't want him to risk his life, but the man had already decided. Right before they wheeled him into the surgery room, Doctor, Sean noticed something. He had suddenly gone blind. The tumor had grown so big, it was pressing on his eye nerves. He was rushed into emergency surgery. During the operation, his heart rate dropped. His blood pressure went down, but the head surgeon stayed calm. He changed the man's position, took fast action, and in the end, the tumor was taken out safely. After the surgery, the two held each other tight because nothing feels better than being with the one you love. The firefighters had just managed to save the man. The old guy suddenly fired several shots. The firefighters were stunned. Just moments ago, the man was driving when the driver in the next lane suddenly threw a bottle of beer at him. That triggered a chain reaction crash. When 911 arrived, the man rushed up for help, but the firefighters chose to rescue the other driver, who was more seriously injured. The man was furious.
Wait, you mean the guy who tried to kill my family?
I know you're upset. I don't blame you, but I need you to step back.
As the firefighters pulled the injured driver out and prepared to take him to the hospital, a female officer came over to check the car. She claimed the man was armed, but found no weapon inside. Just as she was confused, the captain sensed something was off and turned to look at the man.
No, just the patient.
Why? You hurt my family.
A 1,100-pound guest showed up at the fire station, but no one was brave enough to greet him. The firefighters inside were sweating in fear.
Do I not move or do I?
Just then, one firefighter grabbed a big steak, shouted loud, and tossed it to the other side to get the big cat's attention. While the tiger walked toward the meat, the firefighter pulled his teammate into a room. Crisis finally over. But why did the tiger come to the fire station? An hour earlier, the rescue team got a call. An old lady was hurt by her pet. When they got there, she was covered in blood. The wounds were super bad. They gave her a neck brace and wrapped her injuries, then went inside to find the pet. They stepped into the kitchen and saw tons of raw meat. What kind of pet eats that much meat? Then they looked outside and saw a small yard with metal fences and a rope as thick as someone's neck. Right then, the rescue worker knew this was no normal pet. He went back and asked the old lady, "What kind of animal do you have?" The old lady had to admit, her pet is a tiger. She said she was late getting meat. By the time she got home, the tiger was starving, and that's why it bit her and ran away. Oh wow, if it were you, would you dare to raise a tiger?